Welcome to part 3 of Can San Marino win the World Cup? This Football Manager 2015 experiment. Hope you're enjoying it so far. If you haven't watched part 1 and 2, please watch those parts first so you know what's going on. Thank you so much for the support on the series. Part 2 got over 500 likes. I was surprised, if I'm honest. I didn't think I would manage to get 500 likes 2 videos in a row. That's incredible. Part 1 is actually my most liked video ever on this channel, so thank you so much for the support so far. I don't know if this is going to be the last part. It may well be, it may not. When we get to the end of the video, let me know if you want a part 4. It may allow us to do a part 4 depending on the circumstances and where San Marino are at that present time. It would be great if, once again, you could show your support by hitting that like button. It really does mean a lot. So in this video, I'm going to probably go around about another 20-25 years. I won't be going in 5-year chunks. I'll be stopping when I see something of note that is interesting for you guys to see. Perhaps when they get up to a really high point or a really low point even, maybe they're going to flop again. We'll see. I've made one change at this stage, 2065. What I have done is I have improved Nicola Valentini's attributes. Now you can't see it here, but what I have done is I have increased his current ability and potential ability to 200, so those attributes will naturally go up over the next couple of years, I guess. So he's going to be a really good manager, because I think perhaps San Marino need a really good manager, and I can't find a way of transferring an amazing manager to San Marino. You can't seem to move them to international teams on the game. You can move them to club teams, but not international teams. There may be a way, but I couldn't seem to work it out with the in-game editor. So I've just increased this guy. You'll see him really good in the next update when I stop. So I'm going to holiday a few years. Let's see how San Marino get on over the next couple of years. Not so good. They've dropped off over the last 5 years, and they're down to 109th in the world. Even with Nicola Valentini having insane attributes as a coach and mentally as well as a manager. So that might be because he's got a really bad coaching qualification, but still they've dropped off and it's really annoying. We'll have a look at the players, look at the schedule, see how they've been getting on, but I'm going to make another change and I'll show you at the end of this little update. But the best player isn't actually Nicola Vital, that guy, you know, the really good player we've been following the last couple of years. He's 22 now. Now, I did make one more change, actually, previously. I did make him San Marinese, solely San Marino. So I declared him for nations, so he doesn't play for Italy. And he's at Chelsea, as you can see here, our star man. Moved to Chelsea for 1.4k. £1,400, because San Marino the San Marino teams are nothing teams. There's nothing about them. Even though they're professional clubs now, we've made them professional. That's ridiculously cheap for this world-class player. He is going to be world-class. If we look at his stats, he's already up to 180 current ability. That is pretty much Sergio Aguero quality. I think he's around about that on the game. Maybe he's slightly higher actually. But still, he's not far off. He is an incredible player. Look at those attributes. 8 goals in 35 games for San Marino now. And he's, the last couple of years especially, has been in the Chelsea team. Not getting many goals, but his average rating this season in particular, very good. And finished second with Chelsea. But apparently the best player in San Marino is this guy, Joaquin Paez, who plays for Valencia. 18 goals in 50 games for San Marino. He's an attacking midfielder or a striker or a central midfielder. Very good technical attributes especially, and pretty good physical as well. Let's just have a look at his ability. He's actually slightly worse than Nicola, but according to that list, he's the best player in San Marino at the moment. Maybe because he's slightly older, they've favoured him in that list. But yeah, a very good player, world-class player as well. So they've got 2 world-class players. The third best one actually plays for the San Marino team in Italy. He doesn't look bad, he's 21, but he's certainly not up to the standard of everyone of those other 2. So they've got 2 world-class players, and any team with 2 world-class players is going to, you would thought would do well, but if the rest of the bunch aren't up to standard, then, you know, possibly you're not going to do as well as you would hope. So in recent years, in the last 5 years, let's go back in time and see how they've been getting on. They did win against Andorra a couple of times this year, and Kazakhstan beat Ireland as well in the World Cup qualifying stage. And then the year after, they drew against United Arab Emirates, drew against Albania, beat Slovakia, and beat Chinese Taipei. So where did they finish this time round? So this would have been a while ago now. They did actually finish bottom of this group. This is Division C. There's only 3 teams in it for some reason. So they were obviously relegated back to the D stage, which is probably why their rating has gone down over the last 5 years. This season they beat Moldova again twice. Poor old Moldova. I feel sorry for them. They beat Bermuda again in a friendly. Lost 6-0 against Israel in Euro qualifying though, so that's not so good. Wow, 7-0 win against Andorra. Nicola with a couple goals, and Payez as well, the 2 star men getting a couple goals each in that game. Beat Azerbaijan 4-1. This is a very good year. They beat Andorra 5-0, but this is the Group D of the European Nations League. But they didn't actually get promoted. I think we're looking at the right one. They lost out against Armenia in the end, so they weren't promoted that year. So I guess that's why their rating has declined a bit. They haven't managed to get out of that Group D after being relegated to it. So then in 2069 they beat Luxembourg 4-0 and 3-0 and beat Singapore 3-1. Draws against Israel and Lithuania as well, but the rest of the games were defeats. This is World Cup qualifying again, Group 10. So I think it's this one. Let's go down. Group 10. They finished 4th. The problem is they're not actually qualifying for World Cups. We're not going to see them win the World Cup if they don't actually qualify. And I'm not sure what we're going to have to do. But I've done something to change it up, and I'll show you in a second. We'll show you now, actually. I've improved the economic factor and FA financial power to 100, which I think is the highest it can go. For comparison, I think England are on 16 FA financial power and Germany are on 20. So I'm guessing that means that's good. So 100 surely is ridiculously high. I don't know if that's going to have any impact whatsoever. And economic factor's been improved as well. I'm hoping that's the right way to put it, and that's not actually degrading them. But I think one of the most important things I've done is I've not allowed dual nationality. So I'm hoping that if San Marino produce more better players like Nicola and Payez, that they won't end up playing for Italy, because in San Marino you get dual nationality. You can be playing for San Marino or Italy. So I'm sure there's players that we've seen go by the wayside because they've ended up playing for Italy rather than San Marino. So I'm hoping that improves the situation. It may not. It may actually make it worse, because the players might actually choose to be Italian rather than San Marinese. Maybe, I don't know. But let's see. Although if you're born in San Marino, then I don't think you can be Italian. But there might be no Italians coming over to the San Marino team, the ones that play for the San Marino club, who, as it happens, they were promoted to Serie B at one point, and they've been relegated again. And their key player is actually Italian now. And he cannot be San Marinese nationality either, I don't think. He can only be Italian, because you can't have a dual nationality. So that may not help, but I'm hoping it does help. It's a bit of an experiment. We can't really go any lower now. We need to improve the team in some way. Just to show you how I holiday. People ask about holidaying. There's no quick way to holiday. You just have to go on holiday and leave it. I leave it overnight usually, and then I put autosave on every year, so it saves a file for every year. Look at that. That is ridiculous. There's so many save files on my on my game. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we need to go. I'm going to show you 2074. So they have improved dramatically. So those changes I made must have done something right, because they're up to 30th in the world as it stands in 2074, June 2074. They've still got Nicola Valentini in charge, our really good manager, who only has a Continental C licence. And now Nicola is actually the best player for San Marino. He's at 26 now, 15 goals in 61 games for San Marino. Still at Chelsea. Let's look at his career stats. You can see his average ratings are very good. Achievements wise, what has he won? Let's have a look. Competitions. He's not really won anything apart from something with Palermo, and he's Champions League runners-up with Chelsea. Although actually we don't have the leagues loaded, so you won't be able to see if he's won the Premier League or not. I'm sure Chelsea have won the Premier League over the years. Yeah, they have. So he's won a couple. definitely has won a couple. So, yeah, it won't show his awards with those sort of teams. We'll have a look at World Player of the Year in a minute, because I would have thought he would possibly appear on it, but he's not. It's not in his biography, so I'm guessing it hasn't, despite the fact he is a ridiculously good player. He's on 193 current ability. Wow, what a player. That's like Cristiano Ronaldo quality now. Unbelievable stuff. See how Paez is getting on at Valencia then. He's 28 now, 33 goals in 80 games. What a star, what a player. Looks so good. And Giuseppe Bugli is the third best player. He looks quite good actually for a wing back. Let's just have a quick look at his rating. He's 30 years old. He's only got 27 caps for San Marino though. 154 current ability. He's got 180 potential. He never actually reached it. He's 30 now, so he's not going to reach that. So they're certainly producing players that have the ability to get quite high up, but perhaps they're not reaching that standard. This is the fourth best player. He's a centre back. Average, isn't he? He's average. So there's certainly room for improvement in the players below the top 2/3. Okay, I'm sure you want to see how they've managed to climb up to 30th in the world within 4 years. So in 2017, they had a good year in the Nations League in Group D, so I assume they got promoted that year. Let's go back. Yes, 13 points, 2 ahead of Belarus to go up to Group C. Season after, they managed to get wins against Cyprus and Chinese Taipei again, 7-0 on Cyprus, two wins against Cyprus, 4-4 draw against Bosnia as well. That's a pretty good game. But the other games were defeats in the Euro Championship qualifying, so they didn't manage to get through that, unfortunately. They played in the qualifying playoff semi-final against Bosnia, but lost 5-1, unfortunately. So they didn't qualify for the Euros once again. So Group C of the Nations League, they lost against Ireland, beat Estonia, beat Norway, beat Estonia, lost against Ireland and beat Norway 4-0. Very good. I don't think they would have won it though. Yeah. Oh, they lost out by 1 goal behind Ireland. That is unfortunate. Imagine if they got to Group B. That really would be progress. But unfortunately, they didn't. Maybe next time round they can. And then 2073, they actually drew against Moldova. Unbelievable. They had a really good World Cup qualifying campaign. They lost against France and Wales. Those draws against Moldova may have been crucial to them not qualifying. Let's go down. Group 6. Second place. So surely they go into a playoff. The top one gets qualification. San Marino ahead of Ireland. So even if they'd beat Moldova twice, they wouldn't have quite managed to beat France there. And let's go back. Surely they've gone through to some sort of playoff. No. That's weird. There must be some sort of rule now whereby at this stage in 2074 it's only the top team that qualifies for the World Cup and there's no playoff whatsoever. So San Marino, really unfortunate there, because that is the closest they've got to getting into the World Cup. They finished second in the group. Usually that would be enough to at least get a playoff place, surely. So this year, 2074, only one game. They've beat Georgia 2-1. Now, can they win the Nations League Group C? Division C? We'll see in the next update whether they did. I think that's a winnable group, the teams that they've got. Certainly. So we'll just have a look at some of the top teams in San Marino. Obviously, the reputation is still very low. They're professional clubs now, but I haven't improved the reputation because it just is a really big variable it just really screws things over. Like, you either improve reputation in an experiment or you improve other things, because reputation just really messes with the game when you change it. So this is the top player apparently for this team. He's 15 and perhaps has good potential. 144, it's not bad. That's, sort of mid-table Premier League quality potential there. Let's have a quick look at some of the others. Trey Penn, this is the top guy. Ella, he's not. He's got 1 cap for San Marino. Let's go back and look at some of the others. Javinas, I think this is where Nicola started. I think, might be wrong. Fabrizio Clacchi, their top player, hasn't played for the full national team. Trey Flori, maybe. I think most of the San Marino best players do actually end up playing for the San Marino club in Italy. This is their top player is not good enough, really. So we'll just have a quick look at the national team, see the teams they play for. Yeah, so most of the defensive players play for the San Marino club. Then there's a bit of a mix. You've got players playing in other countries now, which is good. for the progress of these players, I think. Obviously, we've got the Chelsea guy, Nicola, and we've got Paez for Valencia. And there's a few others, still some Belgian teams in there. Just have a look at some of the records for San Marino. You can see the highest attendance, 5,250 people watched them play Switzerland. So we've not beaten the 2014 attendance there, which is crazy. This is the highest world ranking, 30th March 2074. So, I mean, the progress from the start is very good in 60 years, but still, biggest win against Andorra, 7-0. Biggest defeat was back in 2006. So we haven't had a really bad defeat on this experiment, fortunately. Top goal scorer, that's in 1 year, isn't it? So, most capped player is Simona Bonacci. Some interesting stats there for you. Oh, this is the all-time goal scorer, Pelliccioni. So it is someone that we've seen. We can't see him, unfortunately, because we can't see his history. But it's one of the guys that has been produced throughout this experiment. So a holiday again, up to a significant point, and then we'll do an overview of that. Something has gone seriously wrong. They're down to 177th. I've holidayed 6 years. They've gone from 30th to 177th. What the hell has happened? Maybe it's because Nicola has retired. They've still got Nicola Valentini in charge. Oh, what have I clicked on there? Job centre. Go back. Yeah, so this guy's still in charge with his amazing attributes. But he's led them down to 177 in the world. They were 132nd 2 years ago, and in 2 years they've dropped down 40 places. But obviously they've dropped down 147 places in 6 years. I'm really confused. What has happened? I'm guessing, Nicola, our star man, has retired. In fact, he hasn't retired. He's still the key player at Chelsea. He's 32, but I assume he's retired. He's decided to retire from international duty 3 years ago at the age of 29. Why did all the best players do that? And San Marino have just gone to pot since. That is just ridiculous. Why did he have to retire? He's unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. And he's decided to go and retire, which is just annoying. He's been at Chelsea years. Biography, let's look. Did he win? I want to look at World Player of the Year, and then we'll analyse what on earth has happened to San Marino. Okay, so I don't think he's won it, looking at this. Let's go back in time. We haven't seen any San Marino players in there. There's a couple. There's an English player, Tom Stab for England. Is he still alive? He's really old, 37. But there's no Nicola in there, unfortunately. We've seen, actually, there's a Chelsea player. I just want to see if he's finished second or third at all. But no. Yeah, Jacob Bell, another English player on there. There's been Chelsea players, but no Nicola. So that's unfortunate because he is so good. If we look at this guy, let's compare him. So this is the current best player in the world. He's Danish, 94 goals in 117 games for Denmark. Plays for Barcelona. And he's actually got a much lower current ability compared to Nicola. That's interesting. Maybe it's because he's 33 now. It's dropped off a bit. Let's just go to Jacob Bell. He's now, how old? 35. Wow, so he won it when he was 34. It's really old players winning. 96 goals in 152 games for England. These players are insane. I know I'm going off topic here, but wow. They're first in the world. I bet they've won like the last 10 World Cups. We'll have a look at World Cups the end of this episode. Who's won what? That's stupid. So what has happened to San Marino? Let's look at the recent matches, because that is just ridiculous what has happened to them. So they had a good 2074. Group C, let's see how did they win the group? Wait, where are we? There we are, second. Goal difference again. Lost out to Hungary. They've been so unlucky in that sense. But that is the best they've been, I would say, in Group C. So I'm going too far back again, aren't I? the year after, they beat Moldova twice again, standard, and beat Bermuda again in a friendly. Why do they always play Bermuda in a friendly? And why did they always get Moldova in the Euro Championship qualifying stage? But they didn't qualify. Looking at that, they lost all the other games. Then the season after, the year after, not very good, and they didn't do at all well in Division C of the Nations League. I assume they got relegated there. 2077, they beat Chinese Taipei again 4-1 in friendly. Lost against England 3-1 in a game, and England 3-0 there. Against first in the world, I guess that's not bad. Season after, wins against Singapore and Faroe Islands, draws against Belarus and Faroe Islands in Group D, not so good there, so they didn't manage to get promoted once again. And then the Euro Championship qualifying, awful year for them. 2080, they've beaten Gibraltar so far, but it really is not working for them. The best player is now this guy, Esposito, who looks quite good at 30 years old. Let's just have a look at his 138 current ability, that's sort of a middle to lower Premier League quality player. So yeah, they're suffering, aren't they, at a lack of players at the moment. And I'm going to holiday another 8 or so years and then end the episode there. And we'll look at World Cup winners and see where San Marino are, if they've managed to improve. If you do want a part 4, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, so we're going to end the episode in 2088, and they have improved back up to 102nd, but it's pretty much at the state we were in 2070. They're just so up and down, aren't they? And I'm not sure there's going to be much point in a part 4, because we've had those 2 world-class players come along in Nicola and Paez, and even them couldn't make San Marino qualify for a World Cup or Euro Championships. They got up to 30th in the world. I think that was the highest they ever were. If you just look at the records, the highest where is the highest thing? Can't even remember. Anyway, rankings. That's probably it, isn't it? So they've really been up and down over the years, haven't they? 23rd was the highest. They were actually 23rd in 2074. So they really did drop off to that point when they were, it doesn't show, but 177th in the last update. And they've been 95th this year. Top scorer ever is Pelliccioni still. So, I don't know. Is there much point in doing a part 4? Because I don't think, unless I do make dramatic changes, if anyone's got any ideas, then let me know. And if there is enough interest for a part 4, then I will do it. But you'd have to let me know some dramatic changes, because they're not naturally going to win this, I don't think, now, from this stage forwards. Maybe they would if we holidayed in another 100 years. They might produce some more world-class players. They had 2 come along at the same time. They'd probably need 5 to come along at the same time to make up for all the crap that they also produce. So this is the manager now, completely different. Terenzi's not so good, so I'd have to improve him, I think. He's an ex-San Marino player, which is good in terms of he's got caps, and he's got a National A licence. That's not as good as Continental, is it? But still, the best player is this guy, Pelliccioni. 6 goals in 16 games for San Marino. He's a midfielder, only got 5 in finishing. And he looks good, actually. He's got good potential, 169. That is pretty much almost world-class quality, I would say. Close to being world-class quality, that, if he can get there. So he's a very good player. So they've produced another very good player, but they need a few, don't they? This guy's the second best player, and he's only got potential to be 109. He's 27 now. So, 29-year-old. We'll look at the youth squad and see who's in there. See if there's anyone useful. But I doubt it, to be honest. These players don't look good enough. Just have a look at goalkeeper. Don't think. Well, there might be the odd player in there. That's quality. I don't want to look through them all. We'll look at the last 8 years and just to see their results, just see how they've managed to climb back up again. They had a good year that year in the Nations League Group D, and not so good year in the World Cup qualifying the following year. Nations League Group D again, so they obviously didn't qualify, get promoted that first time round. Then in 2083 they beat Scotland 2-0. Goals from Pascal, we can't see them anymore. And then 2084, very good year. They only lost 1 game against Slovakia. And I assume they managed to get out that group. Let's go back. No, Slovakia beat them to it, so they didn't get promoted that year either. And then 2085, beat Faroe Islands in Gibraltar. A couple of draws as well in there, but the rest of the games were defeats in the World Cup qualifying stage. Group D, surely this year they get promoted. Where are we? Oh, I can't see them. I'm confused. Oh well. So they did well anyway in 2086. 2087 they beat Luxembourg in Northern Ireland, Euro qualifying. Oh, they are still in Division D, so they didn't get promoted. That's against Albania so far this year. So 102nd in the world, they've just levelled off there. Again, they really are up and down though. So let me know if you want a part 4. Put a comment in the comment section below. Let me know some things I need to change. I've changed so much. Perhaps the in regards to does not allow dual nationality. It was a good short-term move and it helped them improve, but maybe long-term it's really hindered them. Like, is there anything I need to change from this? Like I said, reputation, I could just boost it to the maximum, but when I did that on a test experiment, they produced loads of fake grayed out amazing players that you couldn't actually look at, and they didn't play for anyone, but they were just ridiculously good because I'd improved the reputation from nothing. So I don't think that's the way to go about it, because it just created really weird scenarios. But maybe I could, just for a part 4, do that and see what happens. It's up to you. Let me know. Perhaps we'll end the series here and I'll move on to another country at some point. People have been suggesting countries. I will be doing some more at some point. Not immediately, but I will be doing some more in the future. This is great fun and you guys have loved it. So thanks so much for the support. Thank you for all the likes. Hit that like button right now if you haven't done so already. Please subscribe if you're new and you haven't subscribed already. That would be brilliant. World Cup. Before we end it, we'll look at the World Cup and Euro winners. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So these are all the winners since the history began, basically. So you can see any unusual winners in there. I know someone spotted Mali were runners-up in 2042, which is amazing. Belgium runners-up this year against Brazil. But nothing really ridiculous stands out there apart from Mali finishing second one year, which is amazing. And where is it? Has it been held? Got South Korea in there again. Russia, Japan, USA, England, Argentina, Australia, Germany, Egypt and China this year. So yeah, those are the winners of the World Cup. And these are the past winners of the European Football Championship. So it's about to be one actually. But over the last few years, we've seen Turkey win it. That's probably the most unlikely team win it. Italy have won it loads of times. Holland have won it 3 out of the last 5 times. Runners up, we've got Denmark in there. But no massive surprises. Turkey's the biggest surprise there. So, yeah, well, there we go. I think we'll end the episode there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, the support has been amazing. I hope you have a good day. I'll see you soon.